Hello and welcome to the British Dapper, and today we're talking about my 2023 style recap, trends and reflections. So as 2023 draws to a close and we're heading into 2024, I thought it would be an ideal opportunity to revisit the year and to just update you on a few things that have happened to the channel, and also outside the channel what's been happening in the general community in relation to fashion and sartorial elegance. So at the beginning of the year saw a start of quite unusual circumstances in a way, because the fashion industry had obviously about a year and a half, 2 years ago, essentially condemned skinny jeans and trousers and very tight fitting suits, and they'd moved to a direction which was very baggy and oversized. But that didn't seem to translate onto the actual marketplace, onto the street, in common wear. So even today you will go into stores and you'll still see skinny jeans, skinny suits on the shelf, on the racks, and that may well be because the public haven't caught up with the latest fashion trends in certain areas. It might be because stores still have a significant amount of investment in the stock that is still out there, and while there's a demand, they will continue to put it on the racks. Later in the year, my views on this particular subject were lifted, where I saw in quite a few places where there was a shift, albeit small, but a shift towards more traditional sort of cut clothes, where we're starting to see pleats come back into fashion in trousers, and broader lapels coming into fashion, and turn-ups even on the trousers, on the cuff. So and traditional materials coming back. A lot of wool out there now, and cottons as well. So it's quite interesting to see how there is a slight shift towards more traditional style of clothing. What with jumpers and woolens as well as overcoats. Overcoats have made a change to a more military style cut, which tends to be double-breasted, has epaulets and quite large lapels as well, which gives it that more trench coat look, if you like. So that's quite encouraging to see, especially if you are heading in a more sartorial direction and you want to improve the way you dress, and you want to go into a more sartorial look, a more classic look. At least there are items out there that are heading that way as well. And it's always going to be a fine balance between looking hip and trendy right now and looking too traditional to become old guard, if you like. And it's nice to find that balance in between, where that classic look satisfies both criteria. And that's where my channel comes into it, because the intention of the channel was to enthuse and encourage a younger generation to look at wearing a more classic style, and encouraging them to have the skills to pull it off and still look quite edgy. And the idea was to move people away from the classic jeans and t-shirts, hoodies, trainers, to give them the tools to step gradually towards a more sartorial way of dressing. And so later in the year, you'll note we had a meet and greet between the Chaps guide, Ash Jones, and myself, where we met some of our subscribers for a meet and greet evening, having conducted an interview of each other earlier in the day. And it was a fantastic opportunity to meet our subscribers, and we found there was a connection there and a need for people that like to dress, have very few opportunities to really dress up for, but also to talk to like-minded people about a subject that they are all passionate about. So it was a fantastic evening, and we have arranged a new date for the next meet and greet, which has already been fully booked for February the 29th in 2024. It's very encouraging to see that there are people out there that are willing to travel the length of the country in some cases just for one evening with a group of people, just talking about men's attire and the latest trends and how they want to incorporate not necessarily the most modern of trends, but how do they transform and change into a more sartorial look. And I did in the year also pick up on the less formal forms of dressing. For example, how to give somebody the stepping stones from that jeans and t-shirt look up to a more sartorial look. For example, up to the point of wearing a suit and wearing it well. So we were talking about the introduction of maybe at the lower end of the scale, very informal looks. For example, the use of overshirts and jeans and wearing those with a pair of, for example, brogue shoes, or maybe even wearing something, not a pair of trainers, but maybe a pair of skating shoes or something along those lines that will lift it a little bit and step you towards a more sartorial look. For example, swapping the jeans out for a pair of chinos, and progressively introducing a waistcoat, or maybe changing that hoodie for a jacket, maybe a Harrington jacket or something along those lines. And I've got to say, when it comes to the channel, the viewing ratings or subscriber ratings have increased significantly since this time last year. We've increased by 277% of our subscribers. We have over 5,600 subscribers as this is about to release. So we are growing all the time, and it's encouraging to see the questions that are being asked by people that are on average 25 to 35 years of age, which is our major sort of demographic. Then we've got the 35s to 55s, and there are some that are, for example, 18 to 25 years of age. So we are getting across the board quite a large range in demographic, which is encouraging to see that the younger people are interested as well as the older generations as well. So it's fantastic to see some of the comments that come through as well to the channel, and they inspire me to the next lot of videos. Recently we did a 4-part series on buying things online, covering a range of subjects, and I deliberately kept that very simple and low level so that most people would grasp the idea or the issues at hand without any complication or gilding the lily, as it were. So they're little observations that I'd found over the years of buying stuff online. And I know that they're the sort of things where people tend to trip up when they're buying something. It didn't get fantastic ratings, view ratings, but it's not always about the viewing ratings with this channel. We do want to provide a service, and we want to provide information that people need the answers to. And within reason, we'll try and accommodate that. All that leaves me to say is thank you very much for your continued support and your comments. They inspire me, and I hope that I inspire you to try something different, to put you a little bit out of your comfort zone. And it's always good to be in that situation, because you learn and you grow by that slight element of discomfort and trying something different, no matter what it is in life. And dressing in a more sartorial way is a very long and potentially expensive way of life. When it comes to sartorialism, it's a very long journey, and it's one that really is never ended. And all the time you pick up new skills, new ideas, new concepts, and a different way of looking at things all the time. The whole idea about exploring and being adventurous with your style is that you become more comfortable with certain looks, certain ideas, and you learn something new about yourself potentially, and you learn a little bit more about your own personality and how to reflect that in the way that you dress. And that's all for the good. So it only leaves me to say a Happy New Year for 2024, and we'll see you shortly. So if you enjoyed the video, then give us a thumbs up. If you'd like to subscribe, then please feel free to do so. We have a Buy Me a Coffee page, and your contribution really does help this channel, and it covers a lot of the incidental costs. So until next time, take care.